What would you do if a billionaire CEO publicly humiliated a hardworking single dad and challenged him to quit on the spot? In today's powerful story, you'll witness a shocking moment inside a major American company where pride, respect, and hidden talent collide. When the CEO mocks a devoted father in front of everyone, nobody expects the dad's calm response to change everything. But sometimes, the people we underestimate are the ones who leave the biggest impact. Stay with us until the end to discover how one bold decision turned a public humiliation into an unforgettable victory. If you enjoy inspiring stories like this, please like, share, and subscribe to the channel for more amazing content. And now let's get started. The 22nd floor of Kane Technologies buzzed with activity as employees hurried between meetings and deadlines. Among them was Ethan Brooks, a dedicated project manager and single father who had spent the last 7 years helping the company grow. Every morning he arrived before most employees and often stayed late, balancing demanding projects with the responsibility of raising his 8-year-old daughter Lily. His coworkers respected him for his work ethic, but few knew how much he sacrificed to keep both his career and family on track. That morning, Ethan entered the executive conference room, carrying a presentation he had spent weeks preparing. The meeting was important. Several investors were visiting, and the company's leadership team was expected to discuss future expansion plans. Ethan had developed a strategy that could save the company millions of dollars while improving efficiency. Confident in his research, he took his seat and waited for the meeting to begin. A few minutes later, billionaire CEO of Victor Kane walked in. Known for his sharp tongue and demanding personality, Victor commanded attention wherever he went. As he reviewed the room, his eyes landed on Ethan. A smirk appeared on his face. "Well, look who's here," Victor said loudly enough for everyone to hear. Still wearing those bargain store suits, Ethan. A few nervous laughs echoed around the room. Ethan forced a polite smile but said nothing. Victor continued, some people are meant for leadership and some are just meant to survive. Maybe you should focus on being a dad. Instead of pretending to be an executive, the room fell silent. Several employees looked uncomfortable, but nobody challenged the CEO. Ethan felt every eye on him. The comment stung not because of the suit or the criticism, but because Victor had mocked the struggle he faced every day as a single parent still. He remained calm and opened his presentation folder, determined to focus on his work rather than the humiliation unfolding before him. The tension in the conference room lingered long after Victor Kane's remarks. Ethan sat quietly listening as the discussion moved on, but his mind was elsewhere. For years he had tolerated disrespect, believing that hard work would eventually earn recognition. He had given countless evenings, weekends, and personal sacrifices to help Kane Technologies succeed. Yet in a room full of executives and investors, the CEO had reduced him to a joke. As the meeting ended, employees slowly filed out. A few co-workers approached Ethan with sympathetic looks, but he simply thanked them and walked back to his office. Once inside, he closed the door and stared at the family photo on his desk. It showed him and Lily smiling at a local fair, a reminder of why he worked so hard every day. Victor's words echoed in his mind, "Quit if you dare," for the first time. Ethan realized he no longer wanted to prove himself to someone who refused to see his value. He opened a drawer, removed a cardboard box, and began packing his belongings. His framed certificates, notebooks, and personal items disappeared into the box one by one. When coworkers noticed what he was doing, they stopped in disbelief. "Ethan, you're not really leaving, are you?" one asked. Ethan nodded calmly. "I've spent years helping this company grow. If my work means so little here, it's time for me to move on." Word spread quickly through the office. Employees whispered in hallways as Ethan carried the box toward the elevators. Some tried to convince him to stay, knowing how much the company relied on his expertise. Before leaving, Ethan submitted a brief resignation letter and handed in his badge. He didn't storm out or make a scene. Instead, he walked away with quiet dignity. As the elevator doors closed, Ethan felt something unexpected: relief. For the first time in years, he wasn't carrying the weight of proving himself. Ahead of him was uncertainty, but also opportunity, and deep down, he knew this decision would change his life forever.